So there's actually another kind of video I actually want to make on a Persona 5 specifically, and depending on what happens throughout the rest of today, I might actually make that video or I'll record it at least and do something with it. I'm not really sure. Um, but it's just mostly on the fact of, Persona 5 and whether or not it's a pointless anime or not, or should it even like still be continuing or et cetera, because I keep seeing a video about Persona 5 in my recommended feed from I forget what the name of the YouTube channel actually is. I don't remember it for some reason, but I want to make a video talking about it, not specifically about the video, but on Persona 5 itself. But regardless, we have episode 18 of Persona 5 the animation, and it's kind of there for filler. It's kind of there for filler. That's what it seems like on first glance, but it does have a couple of moments where it's after the events of what happened with changing Futaba's, you know, cognition, I guess, or have her have Futaba have a change of heart. Right? These are the events that kind of happen afterwards, and there are actually a couple of character moments with Morgana and even on towards the end of the episode. But the first like half of the episode is mainly centered around Futaba. They asked Futaba to join the Phantom Thieves. She, of course, joins, and then they get to a point where they feel like they need to kind of help her out. And in a sense, they should probably see if they can, kind of fix her, or not really fix, but kind of help out with her social anxiety. Because, for a long period of time, as you know, she didn't go out too often. So the whole like first half of the episode is kind of how it is. They interact with Futaba a little bit. Ren is like doing like some side like jobs or whatever, getting money, and then like the rest of like the kind of the first half of the episode is them getting ready to go to the beach. So of course, with when you have like three female characters who are like the main cast of characters, you already know there's going to be fan service. And I've said this before in the past. I'm not sure if I said it in the video, but I know I said it to a couple of my friends. I'm not afraid to use fan service in my thumbnails. So I'm not afraid to use fan service in my thumbnails because I just don't give a fuck. All right, if they're gonna put fan service in a fucking anime, I'm gonna fucking put fan service in my thumbnails. I don't give a fuck. So they go to the beach. Futaba is like obviously like kind of nervous because she's in like a two top bikini and she's not used to showing off as much skin as she does. And of course, they're just trying to be there and help her out, and et cetera, et cetera. She looks like she's having a good time, and then by the end of the first half of the episode, she finally explains why she joined the Phantom Thieves, and she explains that she wants to find out what actually happened to her mom because of the cognitive psyche and the research that she was doing. She believes that it has something to do with the adults that read the suicide note to her and towards that world in general. So the first half of the episode centered around Futaba. The episode kind of continues on a little bit with Ren and Ryuji a little bit, kind of in the beginning. After a couple of stuff happens with Morgana, because Morgana actually, is asleep and he has a dream where inside of the dream he sees himself in like mementos, except it's him as a shadow. So like the whole rest of the episode, Morgana's not really acting like himself. Whilst, Ren, the main character, of course, is kind of doing whatever else he's doing. Like Futaba, he's doing more stuff with Futaba. And there's one part in the episode where they go inside of Mementos and Morgana actually feels like he's not really contributing to the team. Whilst Futaba, as the newest member, is already seems like she's contributing more than Morgana has ever done, since the beginning, since the inception of the Phantom Thieves. A little bit later on, they have a little moment where Mishima is like being really fucking weird because she found this fucking girl on the fan site on the Phantom Thieves or the Phantom Aficionado like fan website, whatever. He was gonna meet up with like some fucking girl on that website, and I guess she kind of just blew him off and just didn't show up. On is like then starts talking to like some other like girl, and that's because On actually does she has a side job where she basically does some modeling, and she meets this other girl named Mika, and she's basically just trying to steal her job because On still hasn't even fully decided whether or not she actually wants to, do this whole modeling gig or whatever. She's not entirely sure with herself. Meanwhile, Mika's just trying to basically steal the limelight and kind of seem like that she should be prioritized instead of On, and so On it doesn't even work for her or work for the photographers for the magazine, whatsoever. Then they have a little bit more exposition, or rather, character development for Sojiro, and Sojiro explains that later that day is the day that Wakaba Futaba's mother actually died, and he had a moment with her where she told him, herself, that she thinks that she was going to die, and I guess he just didn't take it seriously. He didn't take it seriously enough. So after she died, he then explains that's another reason why he took Futaba in, for redemption, because he feels like he could have done more if he had just, I guess paid attention, but he didn't. And then at the end of the episode, they kind of light off fireworks. It's kind of a neat little moment because Futaba's, kind of all happy and stuff. And that's really good. It was a good little moment with Sojiro and Futaba, and Morgana is still there. Morgana is still there, and he's still not acting like himself. And then by the end of the episode, Morgana is finally getting some, kind of, an up and like kind of boost to his, I guess, I don't know what I'm trying to fucking say. But his morality, I guess, whatever I'm trying to fucking say, he gets a little bit of an ego boost. I'll say he gets a little bit of an ego boost. He starts acting like more like himself, and because he's starting to doubt whether or not he's actually human or not. That was like the whole like main part of it. He still wasn't sure whether or not he was actually human or not, because he's kind of just like this cat thing. So he wasn't really sure of himself, right? So the rest of the episode kind of just ends off, with Morgana realizing that he's not just a cat, and he does contribute a lot more than he thinks he does, and that's basically it. That's the whole entirety of the rest of the episode. That's what I meant by the beginning when I said, like, yeah, this episode kind of is kind of like filler. It's basically filler, but it has a couple of important moments inside of the episode that actually, make sense in terms of context, if you pay attention or you played the game. So regardless, that's pretty much the entirety of the episode. They have a little bit of a end scene. They have a little bit of an end scene at the end of the credits where Sainijima, Makoto's sister, is talking to Ren, because that's what's like in the present. What we're watching is actually a flashback. But right now, at the end of the episode, the final scene after the cutscenes, that's in the present. And so Sainijima is talking to Ren, who's obviously been captured since then. He's got captured in like the first episode. And then she starts explaining that the next crime is on the main, I guess the CEO of Okumura Foods, right? And that's like the next like big target that they're gonna go after. And I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Spoiler alert: the reason why this is such a big crime is because the CEO of Okumura Foods he actually dies. He actually dies of like the end of like the whole like palace, and after they steal his treasure, he actually dies and has a mental shutdown. But I'll go ahead and say this: it wasn't the Phantom Thieves. Someone entirely different. So that's pretty much the end of the episode. There's really nothing else that I need to add on top of, and I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do in terms of the other video that I want to make. So regardless, if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button for more videos just like this. I'll see you guys next one. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.